Welcome, I am here to teach you about matter. Matter is everything that is around you. It is anything that has mass, it takes up space. Mass is the amount of stuff that makes an object. In order to learn about matter, you have to learn about the three most important stages of matter. The three important stages are solid, liquid, and gas. A solid is something that has a definite amount of space and retains a fixed volume and shape, meaning the particles are locked into place. If you were to look at a solid object under a microscope, you would see that the particles are packed tightly together and do not have much free space to move around and flow easily. If an object is a solid, it will always be that way unless someone does something to alter it. If you get a rock and break it into a million pieces, it will still be a solid, just smaller pieces, because the shape didn't really change, just the weight and the size. A liquid is the opposite of a solid. It takes the shape of any container it is in. For example, when a liquid, water, is poured into a cup, it will take the shape of that cup. The volume of a liquid is always the same. The particles of a liquid move easily, unlike a solid. The ability for the particles to flow easily is the reason why liquid matter takes up the shape of the container it is in. The last state of matter that we're going to be discussing today is gas. Gas is the invisible matter out of all three states. Gas is all around us in the air. When we breathe in oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide, which are the two different forms of gas that make up the air around us. The particles in gas flow easily, just like a liquid. As I said before, a liquid takes up the shape of any container it is in. Here, I have a pitcher of water. See, the liquid takes the shape of the pitcher, but if I pour it in the cup, it will take the shape of this cup. It took the shape of the cup, but if I put it back in the pitcher, it will continue to take the shape of the pitcher. Now, here I have a vase. What happens when I pour the water into the vase? It will take the shape of the vase. This is why when you talk about a liquid, you always say that it takes the shape of the container because the particles flow very easily, and that's how it takes the shape. Or matter can move from one state to the other. A solid can become a liquid can become a solid, and a liquid can also become a gas. Now I'm going to conduct a series of experiments to show you the different kinds of transition phases. The first one is a liquid to a solid. Here, I have an ice cream tray. This phase is also called freezing. When you take an ice cream tray, and you take a pitcher of water, pour the water in each hole of the ice cream tray, like so. Be careful, don't make a mess. Have some paper towels handy. And then once you fill up all the holes in the tray, you will take this tray and put it in the freezer. The cold temperature of the freezer will freeze up this liquid and make it into a solid. The end product, it will look like an ice cube, which you can put in your drink during the summertime when you want your drinks colder. So here I have the ice cream tray with the water, which is still a liquid, and I'm going to open the freezer and put it in the freezer so it can become a solid and be made into ice cubes so you can put it in your drink during the summertime. For the third transition phase I'm going to show you, this is called vaporization, which you can also call it boiling. It's when you take a liquid and turn it into a gas. First you take a pot of water and put it on the stove. For this experiment, it's best to do it with an adult because it can be very dangerous. Once you have your pot of water on the stove, turn the stove up to a very high temperature. That heat energy will make the water boil, and during that boiling process, the particles fight against each other and they start to move freely and turn into a gas, and then steam comes up and it gets evaporated into the air. The third transition phase, when you make a liquid into a gas, see first here I put water in a pot and then I put it on the stove. When I put it in very high temperature, this is what happened. It boiled and then the particles they fight against each other in order to flow freely and turn into a gas form.